Hey, what's up YouTube? What's going on? A little bit of a more vlog style video today. And in this video, I wanted to mention an important thing that happened to me the other day. And I want to share with you guys kind of the take home message and lesson learned from that experience. And also want to kind of teach you guys something that may be helpful for you guys if you guys have some existing lower back problems. But anyways, before I jump into that, I just want to mention that I wrote an article on my website for anyone that may be looking to get back to bench press. And I recently had a question from one of my social media followers asking what would be an appropriate bench press setup and technique for them for their existing low back issues. So I put together a detailed article all about the bench press exercise and what setup and technique may be most appropriate for different lower back scenarios and situations. So if you guys want, go check that out if you're interested in maybe getting back to bench pressing, or maybe you just have been struggling working back to bench pressing because of your lower back issues. So check that out. It's on my website. And with that being said, now I want to share with you guys what happened to me the other day. So the other day, I actually had a flare up in my lower back. And this is the first time I've experienced such a flare up in about 3 to 3.5 years. And this flare-up occurred at the gym. So I was working out. I was doing more of a cardiovascular style workout. I was doing some HIIT training in which I started doing some treadmill sprints. I was just doing 15 seconds on, 45 seconds off. Did 8 sprints, and then after the treadmill sprints, I went and did some battle ropes training, doing intervals of battle ropes, which involved the alternating whip. So first of all, for those of you guys that don't know battle ropes or what they are, they're ropes that weigh about 25 to 35 pounds, and you can perform different motions with them, and it's more of an upper body cardiovascular style workout that you can get from them. And so after doing the treadmill sprints, I jumped into doing some battle ropes, and right towards the end, on the last interval actually, I was doing alternating whips. My lower back just seized up and I couldn't move. It was similar to the experiences that I had when I had some issues using an inversion table, and also there was a few instances where I tried running when I had my serious issues years ago that my back just seized up and I couldn't move. So the pain kind of lasted, I would say, probably about 20 minutes, but as soon as I laid down on the floor, I got some significant relief, and then the next day I was fine. I mean, I went to bed, and then after that I woke up the next morning, I was fine. It was just kind of that instance. But I want to explain what happened, and it was me just being a little bit of an idiot, I guess you could say, and just not being smart with regards to my training. But the one factor that did kind of kick in was fatigue, because I did the treadmill sprints and then I went and did the battle rope sprints. So that's one thing, or sorry, the battle rope training, and it was on the last interval that this happened, so fatigue obviously played a factor. But to explain battle ropes now, guys, and if you understand the alternating whip, it involves moving like this. So as you're moving your arms up and down, what ends up happening is that you're creating these different motions through the spine. And if you're not stable, if you're not really holding your spinal position together, you can create different movements back and forth with the spine. So what ends up happening is when you perform those alternating movements, you can get these little micro movements that can shift back and forth with regards to the spine. So someone like myself who has degenerative joints at my lumbar facets, performing that motion, and then with the fatigue also kicking in, stress likely built up, and as a result, I may have just moved a little bit too much the wrong way on that last interval, and then bang, my back seized up and it triggered a pain response. So it was a unfortunate experience because it was the first time that I've actually had a significant flare-up like that in a matter of years. I'm totally fine now. It was just that in that kind of specific scenario and situation. But it, at the same time, got me thinking that when it comes to exercise, you really need to be careful, and sometimes you don't know what exercise is really going to maybe cause you issues or trigger your symptoms. Now, for someone like myself, I should have been a little bit smarter about this because I am educated about this, and the fact that I was doing the battle ropes training and knowing that I have degenerative joints just wasn't the best option for me. And as a result, as you can see, I had that flare up. So a bit of a lesson learned. I thought I would be fine with it and okay with it, but as you can see, that triggered that flare up. So the important kind of lesson that I wanted to share with you guys from that experience now, because this just happened the other day, is that you really need to be careful with your training and also to be educated about what may and may not trigger your symptoms. So for my case, yes, I've been fine for the past couple years. I've been able to heavy deadlift close to about 400 pounds, and I don't really get any issues from deadlifting. But an exercise and a training style like battle ropes, creating those little side-to-side movements just triggered my symptoms. So overall though, guys, I know I'm kind of carrying on within this video, is number one, fatigue is going to play a role in the way stresses are going to be administered through the spine. So the more fatigue that you accumulate, the more your technique is going to break down and the more stress that may build up on certain joints. So if you think about it, if you have just performed a workout, or you're the end of your workout, your muscles are already a little bit fatigued. They may not be able to stabilize as well, and therefore some tissues such as your joints, maybe your disc, are going to take a little bit more stress possibly now. At the same time, doing exercises where you're going to be creating little micro movements, and if you're not stable like that and you have degenerative joints, things aren't going to move very well. Because when you consider this model here and you consider degenerative joints, the cartilage of the joints are broken down, and when you consider the movement at these joints, they're not going to move as well. And to accompany that, there may be some osteophytes, and as a result, just doing that side-to-side movement could trigger some sort of pain response, and that's what kind of happened in my situation. So anyways, bit of a lesson learned. Battle ropes, the alternating whip, if you're going to perform them, be sure to stabilize the spine and avoid creating those little side-to-side movements. And one technique that you could use to maybe help with preventing this is just putting a stability ball between your legs and squeezing it with your knees. That may help stiffen the spine a little bit and prevent any of those maybe little micro movements from occurring. It's not perfect, but it's something that could help. So I just wanted to mention that, guys, in this video, because I thought it would be very important to share with you guys, because I did have a flare-up. And like I've said, the issues that I've had over the past couple of years, whether it's maybe some minor discomfort, maybe some stiffness from sitting, has been primarily associated with the osteoarthrosis of my joints. Working around the disc issue hasn't been really an issue or a problem to me. I haven't had really any issues there. It's just those joints having osteoarthrosis has created some issues for me. So that's all I wanted to share in this video, guys. And like I said at the beginning, I just published an article on my website regarding bench press technique with regards to different low back issues. Feel free to check that out if you're interested in maybe working back the bench press. And with that being said, if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything you'd like me to address, whether that's in a video or an article, please be sure to leave a comment below about that, and I'll be happy to put together something around that topic that you may be interested in. Okay, guys, so with that being said, take care, all the best, and I wish you a successful and productive day. See you later.